Hey guys, get out of the square. Okay, this is a rectangle, but it's almost a square, and it's the best prop I've got. So hang on. Let's talk about it. So hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic. Welcome to Brain Snob, the latest episode. This is the community. Who knows, the people in the community, you know that there is such a thing as better brainwashing. You know that everything is brainwashed. Everything you take in, your brain learns and learns it well. And if you don't like what your brain has learned, if it learned things like pain, fatigue, anxiety, we can unlearn that. And that's called better brainwashing. So we know the brain makes the body so you can make your life. How's your life right now? We know that half healthy is still half sick. We're going to fill those holes and keep the bucket clear of holes. So how's your life right now? You need to be a full participant in our world. We need you. You can't do that with an impaired brain. The brain and spinal cord control the rest of the body, so we're starting right at the top. Now, I'm a chiropractor, so everything I talk about has that chiropractic foundation, that chiropractic philosophy, and that is because the philosophy is concerned about living congruently with your innate intelligence. And when we act as if we're smarter than nature, we delude ourselves, and it is very destructive. So chiropractic is more than a procedure. Yes, it's my access point to your brain. This is how we transition your brain to a better state of functioning. But this is serious business. This is about saving lives by respecting and supporting the innate connection to the physical nervous system. So, a little bit of entertaining value in here. I'm going to say get out of the square. Just a little different topic today. See where this connects to your concerns and your issues and how you can make your life better. Here's my second prop. You've seen this before in the other videos, my old faded basketball. But you were born as a circle. You were born as a circle. And we've tried to put everybody into a square. We've tried to shove them. You know the saying, square peg, round hole. Well, I'm taking it a little bit differently. So you were born a circle. You know what? Round. No sharp edges. That's important. That's special. When you're squeezing yourself into a tight square, our world, our modern world, is too square. Don't be such a square. When you are doing that, what did I just say? A tight square, squeezing, tight. These are code words for make changes so you have better life experience. So when you're pushed into that square, you got to fold yourself over, you're feeling shoved in, you're tight, you're suffocating, you're shoved. Now, what do these conjure up in your mind? Discomfort. You're in a place you don't belong. We want to figure out how to free the circle, how to free yourself. So if you are in the square, definitely there's no room to expand. There's no room to grow. You're limited. That square is limiting you. Don't have any expectations of something new. How about self-growth? How about flourishing? That's all snuffed out because you are shoved into that square. What is that square? The square, that would be the expectations put on you by the world. Why would we have these expectations? Because everybody thinks that's just the way it should be. We should all be in a square. When you're born a circle, you should be living your life as a circle. Guess what? When you have no sharp edges, you're going to float around. You're going to have fun. You're going to explore. You're not going to be stuck in this limiting, too small for your brain, too small for your creativity, too small for your talents. Get that circle out of the square. Square peg, round hole. I flipped it around. Okay, you were born a circle. You should live your life as a circle. Let me put it into a different category. If you are shoved into that square, you can't move your brain, feed your brain, or talk to your brain. You're restrained. You are blocked. You are prevented from being your thrivable self. If you are not getting chiropractic because your square schedule doesn't permit it, or your square mindset doesn't understand why chiropractic is so important for your brain health and moving your brain. If you've watched my other videos, I talk about the 3 doorways of healing: moving your brain, feeding your brain, talking to your brain. And moving your brain is getting chiropractic care, exercise, and sleep. So sleep is there's a special motion happening in your brain while you're sleeping, because when you are in that state of rest, you do have a lot of brain healing, brain growth. So the secret here is that right balance between movement and resting. So chiropractic, exercise, and sleep. Check out the other videos. I'm going to go through this quickly. If you're confused, you've got other videos you can watch. And no room to move. If you're stuck in that square, you're going to be sedentary, right? And you're inflamed. If you're not moving, you're going to have that inflammation that's just hanging around. And you can't move when you've got inflammation. So you need room to move. So you have to give that to yourself. Feeding the brain. If you're stuck in that square world, if you are shoved into that square world, there's no room for you to release the toxins. We are in a toxic world, and they might get in unsuspectingly. You want to get them gone, definitely. So if you don't have room to feed your brain, that's kind of stagnant. There's another great word, stagnant, when you're shoved into that square. We don't want that. You got to feed your brain with the nutrients that allow you to thrive, so you're not stagnating. Talking to your brain. If you're stuck in that square, what is that endless message you hear over and over again? There's no room for new ideas. Your own thinking process is stuck. That's another good word. Did I say stuck yet? You're shoved in the square, you're stuck. Is your family keeping you stuck in the square? Nothing against family, but when everybody is in their own square, they don't see anything new. They don't see anything different. They're stuck in the square of just blocking out creativity. You move your brain. I'm sorry, reverse that. I already said that. You talk to your brain, and the things you say to your brain will start to act out, because your brain learns what you expose it to. Whether it's imaginary, like a scary movie, you know it's just a movie, but your brain is going to go, ah, at those ugly, bloody scenes. When you're watching a scary movie, you have that fright reaction. And that's why we go to the movies, to let it out. It's like letting steam out, getting all your stresses off your chest. And we do that for fun. But your brain is going to think it's real because it's watching. It sees that. That's an interesting way to look at how we engage the brain and how we expose our brain to different ideas. And it does change our body. Look at a picture of a beautiful scene with trees and grass and birds. Just looking at it, you feel calmer, don't you? Your brain will do that. So you can actually trick your brain. I hate to say that, but you train your brain. Everything you do, you are training your brain, teaching your brain how you talk to your brain. And if you're stuck in a square, there's no room for new thought. There's no view of anything new. There's no view of new possibilities. So how can I encourage you to be that circle that is set free from that restricting square? You have, if you have tight muscles, that's what everybody comes to me for chiropractically. They have tight muscles. Well, you're tight because you're shoved into a square. How can we undo that? Well, with chiropractic care and exercise, good nutrients to help you have better motion, get rid of that inflammation, get rid of those toxins, and we learn new things so we can get out of the square. We learn new ways of facing the world. So we are out of that square and living like that happy circle that's floating around, just having a good time, floating around with other circles. So get out of the square. I know, I took it a little differently. You understand square peg, round hole, so I flipped it. But follow nature. Follow the way you were meant to be when you came into this world. You were meant to be active, curious, exploring, creative. And you can't do that with a brain that's stuck in a square. Your brain isn't square shaped. It needs that room to grow. It needs room for new the neurotransmitter wiring. So I don't know. Is this inspiring? I just thought it was a funny way to explain to people when they're stuck. They've jammed themselves into a place they don't belong. If you're in a jam, ask me how you can go about unjamming yourself, unlocking the tightness, helping your brain experience a new way of living, a new way to take in all that sensory stimulation around you and making sense of it. Because sometimes we can't make sense, but I can help you make brain sense with Brain Sense Telehealth, self-discovery sessions. I teach you how to move your brain, feed your brain, and talk to your brain so you don't feel like you're half healthy, but you're whole. That circle, that wholeness, round, no sharp edges, no stuckness. You're not shoved into a square. How to free yourself from the square and do it without excessive grieving. Thanks for watching the video today. And I've got a blog you can look at. I've got the podcast, which is totally different from the videos. So there's Brain Snob podcast, and then there's just Brain Snob on the YouTube. And visit the Patreon channel for those extras that I don't reveal on these videos. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's start a conversation.